Live from the City of Angels, you know it. You are watching Midnight Movie Talk here Thursday night. That means we have the box office preview show. Sorry for being late. Like an hour and 15 minutes late. We've been starting about, 8 o'clock here on the West Coast. Now it's 9:15-ish. And I was actually having a drink or two with my good friend Scott Menzel, just down the way in Toluca Lake. And funny story as we get into tonight. I love living in LA. I tell you that there's so much that happens here, right? When you go to a bar and are hanging out, just having drinks with Menzel, at the table next to us was a couple of guys who work at a major production studio here in Hollywood. And they overheard our conversation about movies. And then we had like a half hour plus conversation about all these movies, some that they make. I'm not going to tell you who it was. I don't want to do that. But that's the beauty of living here. We talk about it all the time. Hopefully you get that here from MMT, is that we're not in Kansas, y'all. We're here in Los Angeles, for better or worse. And yes, it is the triple threat box office showdown across America as we get ready for SawX versus Paw Patrol versus The Creator. Is a triple threat tag team match, and we don't know who the winner is going to be. You tell me who it's going to be. Let's do a sales check to start, because that's what we do on Thursdays, right? Here on MMT, we like to go to the theaters and see what do the sales look like at the AMC down the street from me. Why AMC? Because I love AMC. Also because they rule LA. So we start at the Let's Go 16, which is my home theater. 10:20, we'll do SawX first. Let's check it. Let's look in, and we've got about 65, 70% of the seats. That is a regular, or is that Dolby? I'm trying to see. That's Prime. That's Prime. Okay, so remember, AMC's got the IMAX, it's got the Dolby, it's got the Prime. Those are the three PLF screens they have. And this is the third of the three. So at least SawX has Prime, and it's not too bad. It's a horror film. It should do well at night. Paw Patrol, we're going to check in a second, is not going to do well at night. I mean, who's going to see Paw Patrol at 9:20 on a Thursday night? Like, you've got to be a pretty big loser, right, to go see Paw Patrol. Let's do one more SawX, then we'll do each of these films. I know you guys. This is for those you've never watched MMT. My God, we're looking at ticket sales. That's what we do. Deal with it. 9:45. This is Dolby over in Century City, the home of all the Kens. That looks about 85, 80% full. Let's call it. That is Signature Recline. Dolby. It's Dolby. Their Dolby's kind of crappy over there. It's not really a real Dolby. It's like a quasi Dolby, which is weird because we talk about FOMAX, right? The IMAX is not really IMAX. This thing is not a real Dolby. But either way, it's not too bad. Did I tell you, as we talk about SawX, hold on, no, I'm not ordering anything, so it doesn't matter if I cancel. Let's switch to movie. I want to mention something before we keep going here on this Thursday night. By the way, tonight's show is going to be truncated. It's going to be like a 30-minute show. I came on late. I had a drink, which for me is like too many. One is too many drinks. And also, there's not much to talk about. I just want to do a tight little show here tonight, get some comments in here, talk about the box office, talk about the Oscars, who's going to win Best Picture, talk about the WGA strike ending, and give you my thoughts. And then goodbye. It's over. Over. All right, let's stop SawX. Let's go to Creator. Let's do that. And we're going to talk about the Creator here momentarily. But hold on, let's do Paw Patrol, because why not? I mean, like I said, who is going to see Paw Patrol? Where the hell is Paw Patrol? It's not even on. It's on the drop-down list. What? Is it even playing there? Hold on for a second. What's going on? Is it playing at night? It opened tonight, didn't it, guys? Paw Patrol 2? I don't see it here. Look, when you hit the films, I go down to the P, right? It's Paw Patrol. There's no P. It's Oppenheimer, and that's SawX. It's not the Paw Patrol. Where the hell is it? It's not here. Screw Paw Patrol. No one's going to see it tonight. So stupid to even look. Let's go to the Creator, because I'm going to do my evaluation. Coming up here, MMT evaluation. We talked about the initial reaction. Now that the embargo's over, I can just obliterate the film. Listen, I don't hate it, but I'm going to tell you the real problems with it, and there's a number of them. We're going to just drill down on it. Let's go Dolby 1010 Creator. This is... Okay, guess what? Everybody, what's happening here? Disney's buying seats. Look, the first 3 rows are sold out, and there's tons of seats behind it. Disney is buying seats for the creator. What else is happening? You guys come in here and tell me. Look at what you're looking on the screen. You see the first 3 rows of Dolby is really close. I've sat there in like that third row. It's manageable. Second row, too close to it. No one's buying those seats if there's seats in the further back. So that's clearly either Disney seats or they're just blocking them off so no one will buy them and it looks like people are in there. It's one of the two. I don't know which one. You guys vote. Which one is it? It's one of them. Okay? Let's do one more check of the creator. That's the 1010. And then we'll move on. I know for some of you, riveting. He's looking at ticket sales. My God. You're not familiar with the format of the show. Get with the program, bro. All right, let's go to Century City and we'll do IMAX 930. That's pretty good. Look at this random person in the front. Do you guys see this? Look at that person all the way up in the left. That's not a good seat, even though that's a FOMAX. It's still not a good seat. Who buys that seat? Are they buying the seats? Disney. Who owns Fox / 20th Century? Are you buying seats? You're buying seats. All right, let's do it. You guys ready? And then anyone who saw it, come in with your comments. Let's do the MMT evaluation as the creator. We talked about it when I came out of the theater last Thursday, right? I talked about my initial thoughts of the creator back on Thursday night, but tonight I want to drill down a little more on what is wrong with this film. And I think the big issue that I have right now with this film is the reactions that were issued early on and by a number of critics calling this a masterpiece. Like, you can't use that word. Like, that word doesn't exist, but like once every 5 years. It's not a masterpiece every 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. It's 5 years. And the last masterpiece is Tar, okay? It's the closest thing we've had to a masterpiece in the past 2+ years. Beyond that, I would go Parasite, masterpiece. I would go roll back to any Social Network. I'm just going back in time. Obviously, go back to the work of Scorsese from forever ago. Any film, a lot of 70s, 80s, 90s. But I'm just talking about recently. There's not a lot of masterpieces. But yet, I'm being told this is a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. Why? Because it's an amalgamation of a bunch of other movies. You've got Blade Runner here. You've got District 9. You've got Midnight Special, which correlates with The Mandalorian. You've also got Avatar. Help me out. Anyone else? There's lots of other movies. This is at least 5 movies I've listed. It is literally like we're going to take pieces of all these films and we're going to create something that is just a carbon copy, only worse, of all these films. Anyone who says this is original sci-fi, it is original because it's not a sequel, but it's not original. It's not original. Original's Ex Machina, right? Original. You watch a story and you're like, that's cool. I haven't seen that before. Not this. This is a whole bunch of other films you've seen before, only all the other films do it better. Not this film is, my God, it's not a masterpiece. It's visually strong, but it's emotionally flat. And that falls on one person that I destroyed the other night, and I'm going to do it again tonight, because when I think about John David Washington, I think back to Black Klansman, first time I got a chance to see him. What a performance, right? Very good in that because the writing's strong. You have the character that he's playing is interesting. He can do some things with it. When John David Washington is left on his own to create a character and make you care about that character, it's not there. It wasn't there in Tenet. It's certainly not there here tonight for those of you who are seeing it for the first time, the creator. This is another flat performance from John David Washington, which leads us to the question, is he a lead actor? I mean, when you have to imbue emotion into a film, which is what he's required to do, he's married, he's got to, he loses his wife. I'm not going to tell you what happens to her because that movie's so overrated. It's maybe the most overrated movie of the year. Bottom sucks ass, but it's not as overrated as this. No one's calling Bottom's a masterpiece. But when you have to imbue emotion into your scene because that's what's required of the script, and John David Washington comes out and he's like, I've been married for 10 years. I'm like, what? I told you guys I would be Damien from Tropic Thunder with my headphones on, and as soon as he did that, I go, that's it. I'd run out there and go, excuse me. That's not going to work. dude, that's not enough. You need to up the emotion. I don't know what's going on here, but shit ain't working. Now, that probably wouldn't get the best performance out of John David Washington because we'd probably get into it. But it's like there's times in this movie where you say to yourself, this is not good acting. This is flat. This is not the best line read. Should never happen in a movie. When we go to see movies, you should never have an actor that you say to yourself, this isn't good enough. There's a better line reading. It just doesn't happen. You know, like the holdovers the other night. For those of you who missed my reaction stream to that, check it out. We'll talk about that more as we get closer. It doesn't come out till like late October. But watch Giamatti. Watch the young kid in that. Randolph, the nurse in it. She's or not nurse. She's the cafeteria worker. She's very good too. They're all very good at just delivering their lines. You don't go, well, I need another reading of that. It's bad. When you're in a movie, you better be good. That's what, otherwise, be in a soap opera, right? Be on a Netflix show, Netflix movie, but don't be in a major theatrical movie. You're going to be in bad shape because you're going to stand out. And that's the problem with John David Washington. But the problem is he's got to imbue the emotion, right? So the emotion of the film is supposed to be he has his kid, right? That he has some relationship with. Is it his kid? Is it an AI copy? I don't want to think about the movie ever again after tonight. It's just not happening. It is a very definition of meh. It's not terrible, but it's also not a masterpiece. It's not the best sci-fi film of the past decade. Like, what are we going to throw out? Ex Machina and Interstellar? Did those not happen within? Yes, they did. 2014 on both those, right? 2015, 2014, 15. So that's within a decade. These critics have no sense of history. These critics have no clue what they're talking about. And we have an issue. And so that's why ultimately I get so angry when I talk about these films like this. And we're going to do a whack film review spotlight right now because of the fact that we have these critics out there who are like, well, the first best movie ever made. I don't know if you heard that, but it's so good. The creator's amazing. You are not good at this, is all I got to say. If you're saying that, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you, I get it. A lot of you don't like when I do that because you're like, it's subjective. I don't care. It's not a great film. It's 70% now at the tomato meter. So all those people who called it a masterpiece looking pretty stupid. That makes me feel good because remember when you were the first person to see it, like all these guys, I'm the first to see it, so it's a masterpiece. No, you get your name on a poster like our boy Brandon Davis, best film this year, even though you've seen 20% of the films. That guy's a joke. Really is. I mean that. Yeah, he really is. I would hate to be that kind of person where you look at him and you go, you're not real. You're not a real person. You're a shill. And I would never wanted that. I don't care if I had 10 million viewers. I would never want to be a shill. And if you are, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you. Good. Look at all these negatives. The creator winds up feeling like sci-fi leftovers. Thank you, Adam Graham, Detroit News. You are a winner. Brian Lowry, CNN. While the film traffics and thoughtful ideas as well as spectacle, it doesn't complete a vital emotional connection between its head and its heart. Thank you, Brian. I feel like there's a lot. I hate to say this is going to be mean, but that's what I do. A lot of critics are like emotionless people. They don't have like the ability to connect with emotion. Listen, I love a good visual spectacle, but you have to have some emotional resonance. Now, not every film's going to have that, okay? Some films are not meant to do that, but at least the emotion is you're into the film. Let's just talk about emotion being involved in what you're watching. The creator has this separation, right? Where you're watching the movie here and the movie's happening there. You're not in the movie. We're looking to be in a film, and that requires emotional complexity of the actors to deliver and allow you to enter into the film so that you're one with the screen. The creator feels like I'm here the entire time. I'm watching a movie and I've got distance. I'm holding off like a running back in a stiff arm. This film is a stiff arm of a film. I'm going to hold you here and I'm going to look pretty with the ball right here. That's what this film is. It's not a great film, and I feel bad for anybody who says it is because you don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's mean. You're too bad. You don't know what you're doing. It's not good. It's not a great film. Justin Chang, Congratulations for getting one right this time. Even the most strikingly beautiful images, like the one of a high-tech laser beam shimmering over a beach at sunset, are tethered to a story and characters that never take a life of their own. Why, Justin Chang? Just say it. Go there. Because John David Washington is flat. That is why. He's boring. He needs to be more interesting, more edgy, and that's why you see that. So actually, the Whack Film Review Spotlight was redeemed tonight by a lot of these critics seeing the same film I did. It's not a great film, and I'm going to stand by that. Anyone who saw it, come in now. It's time for comments. It's comment time for you guys. We're only going 30 minutes. We're already at 14. You have 16 minutes to get in. 16. So it's just Brandon Davis who called it that. No, Bodie, it's not just Brandon. Bodie's back again. It's not just okay. Is it really? Bodie, this is my favorite part of the show where I get to attack Bodie. Everybody, get ready. I should call it the bottom. It's called "It's Time to Attack Bodie." You guys ready? It's not just Brandon Davis. Okay, Bodie. This is why it makes me insane. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. Now you're making me do work that I didn't want to do here on this Thursday night. I just wanted to have a drink, hang out. Here we go. By the way, Bodie, everybody, guess what Bodie said? It's only Brandon Davis. Only Brandon Davis called it a masterpiece. Here's my boy Max Bornstein. Saw the creator last night. Gareth Edwards is a visionary genius, and his team has created an epic masterpiece. Bodie, do you read? Can you read? Do you read English? That says Max Bornstein. It does not say Brandon Davis. Shit. Why do I got to do this shit? I can't stand when someone says he's the only person. I literally just go, there it is. There it is. My boy, Max Bornstein. He's a show. He's done all these shows. Look, he's done Winning Time. He did Worth, The Terror, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla 2014. He's a writer, a big writer. He's the only one. Brandon Davis is the only one who called it a masterpiece. The Lexi Cinema, early reviews are in calling it a masterpiece. That's another person. Hold on. There's got to be more. There, Phase Swag. Gareth Edwards' latest sci-fi masterpiece. Carlo Vincenti, creator's a masterpiece. Oh, here it is. Joseph Deckelmeyer from Screen Rant, the creator's a masterpiece. Screw you, Bodie. Damn you. Why do you come in here and do this to my show? Why do you come in here and tell me this shit? Damn it. Make me so angry. I was going to have a nice night talking business, hanging out with Menzel, and then you tell me the only person who called it a masterpiece is Brand. What am I looking at? Can I make it bigger? Can we make this bigger? Can we make this? Is this big enough for you, Bodie? Screen Rant. Weber Rant. Justin Chang's an okay film critic. I don't think he's always right. No. Listen, John, I put that up and I was ready to attack people, and I actually had people that brought it was the wrong banner. It should have been these people are correct. I apologize for that. Bodie, our boy Bodie's back. All right, Levi, I'm going to bring you in because it's a super chat. I didn't want to do this because I didn't want to go here, but I will. After Some was garbage. What? That's it. Everybody tell Levi he doesn't know what he's doing. I appreciate the money. I can now go buy my Diet Mountain Dew and Fountain tomorrow. I'll get 5 of them. But listen, guys, tell Levi he's wrong. Here's why After Sun is not garbage. You talk about emotionally resonant. You talk about emotional powerhouse. You talk about knocked on your ass. If that final scene alone doesn't destroy you, then I don't know if you're human, Levi. When his daughter, who's now older, is revisiting, right, watching the videos, and she is remembering her dad, who, by the way, is dead, in case you didn't figure that out. He's not around anymore. And he's at the airport. If you guys haven't seen After Sun, I'm not ruining it. You'll just wait till you see it. And then Charlotte Wells does that spin around, right, where it goes from her in the room. I've seen it twice. It's been a few months now. She spins it around, right, the camera, and it ends up with him walking out of the airport from the trip. If you don't understand that is like literally, we're looking at a possible future winning director in Best Director, Oscars, anything, you name it. When you watch that scene, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, literally, Levi, I don't know what to tell you, but you couldn't be more wrong. Like, it's almost like you couldn't have said something stupider. Even though I do like the thing. It's very close. Donald, when you think about that final scene alone, the final scene alone, it's a gut punch. Listen, I'm not saying it's the only. Oh shit! Hold on, guys. We got some action in the chat. Ryan Foley, welcome to the channel. By the way, I don't know if I've seen you before. By the way, Bodie's saying he's sorry. Ryan, Max Bornstein is a screenwriter. He wrote a Gareth Edwards movie. Oh my God, that's so great. See, I love that. See, I didn't even know that. I should have guessed that. My mate Gareth has, yes, delivered another masterpiece. Oh, it's ridiculous. But hey, this Joseph Deckelmeyer from Screen Rant, he's not affiliated with him, right? It's not a masterpiece. Guys, it's not. I'll just say this. After Sun is much closer to a masterpiece than the creator. It's not like that's not even. No, it's not something we can do. By the way, yes, it is Fulham tonight. Did I even put it in the banners? I was rushing around. It's so funny. I was having drinks with HCA founder Scott Menzel. I still have his name in here for when he comes on. And we were hanging out talking about just award season and life. And just, he's a good friend. He's a good person. I love Scott Menzel. I really do. He's a good human being. Really one of those, like, I thank God, honestly, that I met him because he's just a good person. But we were sitting there, and these two guys are from a major studio next to us, and they go, we were talking about a movie. I don't need to tell you which one. And they go, oh, yeah, we did that movie. I'm like, what? You did that movie? And we're sitting next to, is like, that's Hollywood. That's what. And then we had this like conversation about all this stuff. And they go, I don't know who you are, but you are outspoken. I'm like, yeah, damn right I am. You're damn right. All right, let's continue along. But thank you for the super chat. But my God, that was a bad one. Don't come in with a super chat that's bad. That's one of the rules. Unless it's like $50. And then I will allow the shittiest take ever. You can have a terrible take and I will still put it on. Okay, we've done the box office. We did the creator. Let's talk about the WGA and the strike, because I need to look at these details myself, because it came in, and on Sunday night we got the news. It came in, and I was like, well, it's over. I want to know what did they get. Let's find out. Hollywood writers strike to end on Wednesday, which was obviously today. This was from yesterday. Let's get through this article quickly. I went to CNBC because I figured it would be really the most accessible to read. If I get into deadlines, it's going to be like super dense inside baseball shit. I just want to talk about this. Hollywood writers and studios agreed to end this thing, voted unanimously to lift the restraining order and the strike as of today. So it's over. Well, yesterday, whatever. Okay, so the deal's going to last until May 2026, so we're good for 3 years. 2.5 years. Includes a 5% minimum pay increase upon the ratification of the contract, which is now done. 4% bump will occur on May 2nd of next year, so about 8 months from now. 7-8 months. And then another 3.5% increase will be instituted on May 5th of 2025. So 1 year. So they'll go up for that. Writers were able to gain significant protections against the use of AI. Namely, AI cannot write or rewrite literary material, and AI-generated material will not be considered source material. Okay, so it can't be source material, so they got kind of what they want. I'm sure AI still has control, right? AI is not going to relink. You guys saw MI7. AI is not giving shit up, man. AI is coming to get you, the sentient being. It's coming for all of us. But for now, it can't be considered source material. So suck it, AI. When it comes to streaming, the guild, oh shit, that might not be good. AI's like, you go through the stream and go, I'm going to get that guy. We're going to get that guy. We're going to shut him down. Whatever. Who cares? What are y'all going to lose? Not much. High budget subscription video on demand series and films that are viewed by 20% more of the service's domestic subscribers in the first 90 days. Oh my God. That language just makes me like a head hurt. Get a bonus equal to 50% of the fee. So this is for streaming stuff. So it's the residuals, which, as you guys know, when a show gets reused over and over, you get some more money. So it means that writers will receive a bonus of $9,000 for a half-hour episode, $16,000 for 1 hour, $40,500 for streaming feature, a budget over $30 million. So at least they're getting something. We talked about this. Listen, at the end of the day, they're not going to get everything, but it sounds like they got some things, right? They got some things. That's good. That's really good. So Yeah, you guys are like super thrilled to talk about that. I go into the comments. I'm like, oh, I got some more. You guys are like, nah, we're good. I don't want to talk about the strike. All right, fine. Let's keep going. Let's do this, and then the streams can pretty much be over for tonight. Tonight's kit is full. I love this kit. Just basic black. You got the patches on there from the championship. Now they're back in Premier League, probably back in championship the way it's going. Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk about what film is going to win Best Picture. So when you look at the films that are in for Best Picture, I put this out as a big poll yesterday on Twitter. And when I did this, I really didn't expect it to go as far as it did for Oppenheimer. So here are the 4 choices that I gave everybody this to win for Best Picture. And I'm going to explain why I picked the 4 that I picked. So just give me a second before you like lose your shit and go, but wait a second, what about in this way? Let me explain why I picked the 4 that I picked. Okay. So here is the actual poll right here. And then I'll tell you why I picked the films I did. So what film wins Best Picture? Barbie, The Color Purple, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Oppenheimer. So Barbie, obviously, why? $1 billion worldwide, directed by a woman, lead a woman, right? Story about female empowerment, down with patriarchy. That's going to help, right? All those things are good, really good for Oscars. That's in, no question. Gets a nomination. Could it win? I think it can, no question. Next, Color Purple. Why is that there? Because it is a remake of a beloved film, beloved source material. And when you look at what they're going to do with that, it's a re-envisioning of it. I have a feeling The Color Purple is going to end up being it's going to be bigger than 3.1%. I can tell you that. I'm going to be right about that. Remember that. Here tonight in September, I told you Color Purple is going to be a major Best Picture contender. You just wait until it happens, and you know why you watch MMT. You and 25 other people. But it's good. I don't care. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to do this show no matter what. Even nobody, I'd still do the exact same show I'm doing now. I just wouldn't have Bodie to come in and tell me, you're wrong. No one called it a masterpiece. He's the only one. All right, so then we have Oppenheimer. We have Killers of the Flower Moon. Why? Because it's Scorsese, it's Apple, it's Paramount. They're combining on that. And come on, of course, that's going to be in there. And then Oppenheimer. Why? Nolan, Warner Brothers film, looking at 900 plus million, maybe gets to $1 billion. I don't know if it does, but it's there. A lot of people talking about it. We've been talking about that for weeks. We're ahead of that. Why are you guys writing these articles like now? We were already talking about that. So Oppenheimer was 61.5%, 62% of the vote. I don't think it's going to be that easy. It's not going to be Oppenheimer for sure. Okay, I'm telling you, it's going to be Color Purple. Poor Things is in there. Why? Now, a lot of you are coming in right now, I guarantee going. I haven't looked at the comments yet. I'm trying just to focus here. I'll get to the comments. I don't have a producer. I'm by myself, so I have to do 2 things at once. Give me a break. When I look at the Color Purple and I look at Poor Things, let's go to Poor Things. Poor Things is Yorgos is back after The Favorite. Very successful film, Oscar-wise, right? We know that. But the problem, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to at some point, I imagine. Here's the thing, though. I think Searchlight knows I'm going to have a problem with the film. I've heard it's weird. I've heard it's got a lot of sex. Now, let me tell you something. When the voter looks at all the films, they're going to say, not too weird for me. That's why Color Purple's sitting there. That's why Oppenheimer, that's why these 4 films are above Poor Things. Ultimately, all 4 of these films are going to be more accessible widely to the voting body of the Oscars, the Academy. They're going to vote for. Now, you're going to say Everything Everywhere. Well, let me tell you, what was the heart of Everything Everywhere? It wasn't all the crazy shit with the googly-eyed rocks and the dildo hot dog fingers and all that shit. None of that, okay? The heart of it was the generational relationship between granddaughter, granddad, the family, right? Working at the laundromat, owning the laundromat, that whole thing. That's the emotional core. Poor Things, I haven't seen, but I don't believe it has that emotional core. So ultimately, if you don't have that, that's going to be a problem. That's why Poor Things is not here. Poor Things is, I think, to my knowledge, haven't seen it yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to be another film Twitter movie, right? What is that? That means the one that all the cinephiles go, oh yeah, and then everybody else is like, nah, not really. Raynell wants to be the producer. Maybe. I got to think about it. I got to hold a contest. Who's the quickest at pushing buttons? Animotion, Poor Things versus Holdovers. Great question. I haven't seen, the problem is Animotion, I've not seen Poor Things. I've seen Holdovers. Holdovers, you're going to like a lot. It's the best film I've seen this year. Is it as good as a Tar, an After Sun, Decision to Leave? No. Different film, obviously. It is Alexander Payne doing his thing. But he's back in his grounded wheelhouse, right? He's back where we want him to be. And it's very good. And Giamatti is the best performance I've seen this year. Giamatti better than Murphy because he's more likable. There's more layers to it. He's got emotion. He's got humor. He's got humanity. I think the problem with Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer is it's a cold, right? His character's cold, so you can't grasp him. You don't want to hang out with Oppenheimer. And when you watch the Holdovers, you're going to go, oh my God, I want to go have a beer with my boy Paul Giamatti because he's so likable. Actually, in his case, whiskey as you watch the movie. But the thing is oh God, Levi's back. Tell Levi we're done with After Sun. I just slaughtered him. Levi, you just lost. The battle's over. You lost. Everyone knows it. Although that's another $2 for me to get my Diet Mountain Dew, so I appreciate it. Right now, it's a great question. These are great comments. I love you guys for this stuff because you're saying, well, what about the diversity rule? Remember this. It's not just about who's in front of the camera. If it's for the people in front of the camera, then yes, Oppenheimer's not going to qualify. But it's everyone who works behind the scenes, including at the studios. The people that work in the agency, it's everyone who works on the film, period. So once you start to add that in, you can qualify through different areas. I don't have the whole thing in front of me, but trust me on this. It's not just who's in the movie. It's who worked on the movie, and I know Oppenheimer's going to be able to qualify that way. Oppenheimer's going to qualify. I promise you it qualifies because I can tell you this, Universal will not let it not qualify. They will find a way. Anytime you need something to happen, they'll make it happen. It's just going to happen. Trust me. I can't wait to see Killers of the Flower Moon. More raves, right? Debut to Cannes and then New York. I don't know when I'm going to see it. It opens on the 19th, right? I'll probably just see it at the Burbank 16 in IMAX. Because the thing is if I get to see it, they might say, hey, you can go see it at Rodeo Screening Room or at Wilshire. And they're fine. They're fine rooms, but they're not IMAX. So if I'm going to see a movie that is on IMAX, not necessarily shot on IMAX. I don't think Scorsese shot on IMAX, right? I don't believe that's the case. But who cares? I want to see it. Why not see it on a big screen, right? See it in the best optimal way. And that's why I go with Dolby because you've got the giant screen here in Burbank and you've also got the recliner. The IMAX has the rockers. It's fine, but it's not as good. So ratification's coming up. Okay, well, it's going to get ratified, right? It's going to get ratified. There's no question on the thing there. The Oscars and every award show should be about merit. Don't get me started on that. Gone Girl, don't get me started about merit. That's all this channel is. It should be called the Merit Show. That's not good. The Merit Movie Show. The Merit Movie Time Show. Because it's true. Everything should be merit. It's not. I don't understand why it's not. Giamatti he's definitely in. He's in. If Giamatti's not one of the 5, then we're doing it wrong, right? But I said that, who did I say was going to win last year and should have won? I mean, we all know who should have won. It should have been Cate Blanchett for Tar. The fact that she didn't win, we're going to look back at years and laugh. We're going to go, well, that was one of the best performances we've ever seen in a movie. And yet she didn't win. I mean, listen, that was like unbelievable. That's a criminal action. You got to give it to who's the best, and the best last year. So Giamatti right now is the best actor I've seen. Now, I have not seen Killers of the Flower Moon, so I need to see that. Also, we have Rustin. I've heard he's very good in that. So you got Rustin. You've got, what's the other one? There's at least 2 or 3 more. But Giamatti's in, Murphy's in, DiCaprio's in. That's 3. That 4 with Rustin, 5 with whatever the other one is. There's at least 2 more. Well, maybe Joaquin for Napoleon. So you're looking at, it's already, but he's got to be there. He has to be there. I love Lanthimos, but he's too wonky and mainstream. Exactly. That's Jeff. That's what we're talking about. It's too strange. Even though The Favorite was closer to it, there's going to be, from what I've heard about Poor Things, is that it's not going to work for the average person. Well, I don't know about not work totally, but it's not going to be as embraced as gleefully as it is for Film Twitter. Film Twitter likes weird things. Look at Titan, right? Titan, however you want to say it. That film was a film Twitter film. You watch it, you're like, no one, what? And then filmed, oh my God, it's going to win. Didn't even get the nomination for France because it shouldn't have. It was totally inaccessible. Weird film. She gets impregnated by a car. But that's the thing is like, you need to have a film that is at least somewhat mainstream sensibility, as Jeff puts it here. It's perfectly put. Amazon's got Saltburn, American Fiction. I've heard American Fiction. Menzel loves the film. I can't wait to see it. That's Amazon /Orion, MGM. And I feel like American Fiction is going to be good because I like the idea. So I'm looking forward to that. Saltburn, I don't believe is going to be, from what I understand, Menzel's not in love with it. So, yeah, Barbie's going to, listen, I'm telling you right now. You say, hey, Weber, here's $500. Let's just make it 5. Not 5,000 or 500,000, whatever it is. They hand you a stack of cash. I need you right now to put this on one film to win Best Picture. You have to bet. You can't keep the money. You can't split it. I'm like I told you last year. I did put it all on Top Gun Maverick because I thought it'd be right. It's very much like that with Barbie, but I feel the difference is we know what the difference is with Barbie. Female director for starters. I'm going to put my money on Barbie. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put all the money on Barbie and go, I'm good with it. And I'm not saying I'm going to win, but I'm telling you that's where I would go. Thank you, Goober. Midnight Merit Talk. Shit. It was right there. I told you guys I was tired tonight, right? I'm like really tired. All right. I told you 30 minutes. We're going to go another like 5. I'm out of here at 40. 40 minutes is it. That's it. What's my pick for Best Actress? This year, great question. Let me look here because I got to be honest with you. I got a lot of films to get to. I'm not going to pretend that I've seen all these films yet. I will because that's what I do. I'm not Brandon Davis, right? I'm not, oh, this is the best movie of the year, by the way. Look at their advertising at the bottom. A whole bunch of soccer jerseys, football shirts. Okay, let's go to Best Actress. Bang. I don't know who runs this site, but Awards Ace is simple. I like it. Okay, here's our top one. Anjanou Ellis. How do you say her name? Anjanou. She was just in King Richard. She's so good in that film. Origin. I haven't seen it. Heard good things. Color Purple. Fantasia. Likely. I'm telling you, Color Purple is going to be huge. Just watch. Gladstone's in for Killers of Flower Moon. No question. She's in. She's going lead. Sandra Huller from Anatomy of Fall. I got to see that. She might be Kirby. Napoleon might go supporting. Greta Lee. Listen, can I say this again? You guys all can come after me. It's fine. I don't give a shit. Yeah, Emma Stone for sure. We'll get to her in a second. Greta Lee, she has no business there in Past Lives. None. No business. I already saw it. No business. It's not a Best Actress performance. It's not a best. If Greta Lee is nominated, I might stop doing MMT. I got to draw a line. We can't have this shit happen year after year where we get someone in here just for the hell. Greta Lee has no business in Best Actress. None. Zero. It would be the biggest fraud ever. In one of them. One of the biggest frauds in the history of the Oscars if she ends up in Best Actress. That's all I'm going to say. And I haven't seen anything else. I'm just telling you it's not. I don't need to see anything else. Like when I watched Giamatti in The Holdovers. Oscar level. Greta Lee, Past Lives. Not Oscar level. That's it. I don't need to compare it. It's like you just see it. Remember we talk about this being like the NFL draft. I watch a prospect, watch a quarterback. Good mobility, great arm. Works well under pressure, doesn't have to, right? He's got, when the pockets collapse and he can still get the ball out and go to the right receiver. Makes his progressions. I can see it. I don't need to compare him to other quarterbacks, although I'd say his comparable is Mike Vick, only he doesn't have dogs, that kill other dogs. Other than that, he's like Mike Vick, and he's right-handed, not left. That's what we're doing here. When I watch Greta Lee, I'd be like, community college player. No, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. Don't care. Past Lives is the most overrated film of the year. If that ends up in the Best Picture hunt, I'm telling you, you got to be kidding me. It's all I got to tell you. That is not a Best Picture. So, no. Carey Mulligan, Maestro. I believe she's going lead, right? I'm not going to watch it. It's Netflix. I told you guys, sorry. I'm not going to see May, December. I'm not watching the Netflix movies. I'm not. And I'm not kidding around with that. I'm not watching them. Margot is there for Barbie, but I'm not saying she gets in, but she's definitely a contender because of Barbie. Emma Stone, no question she's in. Okay, so in for sure. Emma Stone. I'm going to go Fantasia, Color Purple. That's 2. I'm going to also go Ellis Origin 3. I'll go Gladstone 4. and that gives me one spot to play with, and it better not be Greta Lee. I'd have Margot Robbie before Greta Lee. Natalie Portman probably gets in for May December, even though I'm not going to watch it. It sucks, you guys. Can I just tell you something? It kind of sucks not being able to watch a movie because you have principles. And my principle is, if your film is not going to be wide at AMC, Regal, Cinemark, I'm not going to watch your film. I'm not going to take the time because I've got Blue Fox Entertainment giving me movies at AMC, and you, Netflix, can't do it. I'm not going to watch May, December. I'm not going to watch The Killer. I'm not going to watch Maestro. I'm not going to watch any of their films. Not a single Netflix film this year. Not one. Because I have principles. The rest of you are a bunch of, not you guys. You guys are amazing. But why doesn't other people? No one else has that thing. Yeah, of course they will. Netflix will get Cooper. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Cooper. He's in for sure. No, I'm not. John, first of all, I'm not going to go. I don't know if they're going to screen it there, but I already made a decision, John. If you're not going to do AMC and Regal, I'm done. I'm done with Netflix. I'm not going to watch them. You guys respect that, right? Do you? I hope you do, because I'm just letting you guys know that that's strong. Most film people would never do that. Oh, I've got to see every movie. I do want to see May, December. I want to see Maestro. I want to see The Killer. I really want to see The Killer because I love Fincher. But I'm not going to, because someone has to take a stand against Netflix and their inability and their absolute denial of theatrical. It's wrong. And we have a bunch of weak ass, lame people in the space who would never do that because I'm gonna go to the party. I don't get to go to the Netflix party. Maybe they want to invite me to the Gray Man and I can get a cup. That would be sad, wouldn't it? Not the popcorn box. It's here somewhere. I've got the cup. Like, who cares? You guys, I was just talking about to Menzel tonight. I think the difference between me and a lot of these people. A lot of these critics are like literally enamored with stars. Like, they get like, oh my God, it's a star. They're a person. They just act. They're no different from you and me. None. 0%. They just happen to have a different talent. And when you don't put them on a pedestal like that, it brings everything down to a level that you can deal with. So you just look at, I don't care who it is. I mean, sure, there's a lot of directors I love. If I talk to a Nolan, I'm going to say, my God, I'm talking about Interstellar for an hour because that's my favorite of his films. But I'm not going to worship the man. I'm going to say this was cool. But that's the thing, is we have so many people that like, it's weird to me, like, think Taylor Swift. I was talking to Menzel about this. We treat like Taylor Swift's like a god in some people's eyes. She's a singer. And actually, I do think she has pretty good songs. I'm not going to lie to you. I have at least 5 of her songs on my playlist. Minimum 5. Probably more for the gym. So I respect what she does, but I'm not going to put her on a pedestal like she's a god. Like, what are we doing? It's weird how some people put these stars and people on pedestals. They're just people. Curtis, this is an interesting question as I try to do a short stream. I'll do 45 minutes. You guys are making me go 45. I'm not going an hour. I'm going 45. I'm cutting it off. This is it. This might be it, Curtis. If I were to direct a movie, what would it be and why? I've said this a lot, a number of times. Everyone's going to come in and tell me exactly. You're going to tell you exactly what I would direct. An extremely grounded, gritty film that is based on character and has very little, if any, weirdness to it. So when I think of that, I think of like a Tar. It's so grounded. It feels like a documentary. I want to make a Dardenne Brothers movie, right? So if you don't know, go watch any one of their films. It's very cinema verite. That's what I like. And I know that's not like the answer. I want to make a big sci-fi epic, but no. I want to make a small budget, tight, character-driven film that has only so many characters, like 3 or 4 characters, like very much like The Holdovers. And I have a lot to say about The Holdovers, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I like The Holdovers a lot, but I still have notes to bring that film down, condense, and get it better. It's so rare that I see a film that I don't have things where I say, let's do this, and then look what we have. We have a really great film. Go back to Everything Everywhere. How do you make the film better? You lose the back half hour. You make it 150 and you cut out all the repetition. It's tight. Maybe you want more instead of wanting to leave and bash your own head in. And that's why that's what I want to do. So I want to make movies, But more importantly, I want to make better movies. Yeah, 2 Days, One Night. It's a great example, Gone Girl. Exactly. Marion Cotillard. That's Dardenne Brothers, 2014. There's not much going on in that movie, but that's what I like. It's character, it's raw. It feels like I'm watching someone in their real life. I want to watch that. I don't want to watch, even though I like the creator, the idea of the creator, not the movie. I love a Blade Runner. I love all these things that take us into the fantasy world. I ultimately want to watch something where it is like, look at Saint Maud. Always bring that film up. What is that film? Very grounded. Now, granted, it's psychological horror. It's not right. A lot of almost all of that's in her head, and that's what Rose does so well with that film. Right when at the end, especially, and so many times where it's like, is she on fire or not? And the cuts, the edits. Oh my god! Like Rose Glass. It's perfect. It's perfect. I don't have a note for you. That's what I never saw Saint Maud on a big screen. Damn, I wish I did. That was during COVID. They sent me a screener and I was blown away. Who is this director? Holy crap. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch rose glass movies with different stories. That's my direction. I go back to Sound of Metal, Darius Martyr, go back to Place Beyond the Pines, who Martyr worked on, along with what's his ass who directed Derek Cianfrance. Those are the films I like, right? What are they? Character-based. Everyone feels real. I don't need to see a glamorous film. Remember when Chris Pratt got dragged a few years ago saying we don't have enough blue-collar films? He was right. We need more blue-collar films. And it doesn't mean white films. Go back this year to 1001. No one saw it. None of you saw 1001. It's a Focus Features film. What I liked about 1001 is that it's set in the Bronx. It is gritty as New York. I don't love the screenplay, but I love the feel of 1001. That's what we're looking for. It's a blue-collar tale of people that are just getting by. Look at Scorsese's works from the 70s. Yes, elevated, and a lot of those things are like hyper out there with the choices, certainly when you look at any one of the King of Comedy, when you look at what happens. But I love the grounded, gritty feel of a real life living in a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. I love it. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And to watch, yes, gritty. David Ayer, correct? Gritty film. I don't love the film, but I like so much of it. Same kind of thing. I think that had the cam, right? Didn't it? I don't love that part of it. Emily the Criminal. I'm just thinking of recent films. Did you guys see Emily the Criminal? Love the direction. Love the feel. It feels like I'm in LA with this character who lives down somewhere in South Hollywood in an area that's not sketchy, and she's doing the things she do so she can pay the rent. Sean Baker, 100%. Same thing. The problem with Baker is his films get weird. I love his filmmaking. I do not love Red Rocket. Okay, I'm going to close with this because it's a perfect way to close tonight. And I've talked about Red Rocket before, and this is what you get from me and from no one else. The movie I wanted out of Red Rocket from Sean Baker is everything that film was, only the screenplay changed. I want everything set exactly how it is. You can even have the same characters. I just don't want him lusting after, what's her name? Strawberry. What's the girl? That. I don't want that. I want it just to be him as a porn star on the down and outs in bumfuck Texas, trying to rehabilitate his life with his ex-wife, and he's miserable. And at the end, he sees some glimmer of hope. What did I just tell you? I just told you the movie Sound of Metal. Why do I love Sound of Metal? Because that film is nearly perfect in the way that it feels like I'm watching a real human being loses his hearing. At the end of the movie, he's on a bench and he's just looking around going, nature's good. I like stuff like that doesn't feel like I am wandering into some fantasy land. I'm watching an actual human being exist on the screen. And hopefully, guys, as we get ready, I'm wrapping. It was 45 minutes. That's what the show is. It might not be, it's certainly not a perfect show. It certainly is a shit show, but what you want, every night you don't know where you're going. What you get out of the show is grounded, authentic human being discussing films. Now, this, woke that, or Star Wars this, or MCU, and oh my God. None of that shit. That's what this channel will never be. and so be it. It's what it is, and I love that some of you at least sort of enjoy it somehow. I don't know how. As always, guys, peace. I'm back on Sunday for Breaking Box Office in the morning, and of course Sunday Night Spectacular. We'll go at least an hour since I shortchanged you, 10-ish minutes tonight. I went longer than I thought I would. So I want to thank you guys for being here, as always, live from LA. Peace.